Let me first of all wish you all a happy feast on the occasion of the feast of Mother Carmel. This is an important celebration for the sisters of the congregation of Mother Carmel. As a Carmelite priest myself, belonging to the CMI congregation, the deep tradition of this monastic lifestyle has ever been vibrant with the images of the Mother Mary in my life. Dear students, for many of you belonging to various faith traditions, this may not be as important as your principal or other sisters and how they feel on this day. That's all right. So I thought I will share with you a little bit about the geographical, biblical, and historical background of this celebration. Geographically speaking, we can trace this feast to a place called Mount Carmel in the current country Israel. If you look in a map or Google Earth, you will find this place in a hilly area overlooking one of the famous port cities of Haifa. Haifa bubbling with life, and on top of the hills on Mount Carmel, serenity and silence. For Israel as a country, this location is of strategic importance. As one of the tallest locations in this area, this gives a strategic observation point to that country. I remember when I visited this place many years back, I noticed that there was a church built right on the cliff commemorating one of the biblical events that are supposed to happen in that place. But now, this was closed off to the public. And I came to know that it was used as a strategic military point by the Israel army right now. So Carmel, in the olden days, would have been a secluded location up in the hills, away from busyness of life. Now, there are some biblical events related to this place, which are celebrated through monuments and history even today in this location. The event is related to a prophet called Elijah from Old Testament in Bible. In his personal choice of standing for his God and fighting a battle against false prophets, there are some dramatic events occurring in and around Mount Carmel. The prophet is supposed to bring a punishment on the king and his people, an extraordinary drought for many years for forgetting their God. He went in hiding after that, in a cave in Mount Carmel, away from the king who is planning to kill him. But at the end of the story, we see the repentant king comes in search of the prophet, and he declares that it will rain immediately, and asks the king to leave fast so that he won't be caught up in the rain. Now, in this part of the story, you find that the prophet is on prayer and fasting inside the cave on Mount Carmel, and he asks one of his accomplices to go and look for any sign of rain many times until he sees a small cloud the size of a foot. Now, traditionally, this foot of hope of rain was often interpreted as a representation of hope seen by humanity in Mother Mary. From a historical perspective, they claim that the monks lived in that cave in prayer and fasting ever since the monastic lifestyle emerged. But actually on record, we trace that from the time of Crusaders, there was a strong presence of monks living in Carmel, and a record of a community dedicated to Mary, Mother of Carmel. This Carmelite monastery can be seen even today on this occasion. Through the Europeans who came to the Holy Land, the monks from Carmel reached Europe and started their journey first as mendicant monks, then established in monasteries, whom were called by the people as Carmelites, because they came from Carmel. So the Carmelite religious order flourished all through Europe as places of cloisters. These monasteries, which were mostly secluded places of prayer and penance, close to the public. Now, Carmelites have a connection to India, especially Kerala. When Europeans came to India, the missionaries who came along were from various religious orders. Among them were also Carmelites, who looked after the church in Kerala for many centuries. It is under their guidance the CMC and CMI congregations evolved as Carmelite religious orders. Now, I'd like to conclude by giving you some thoughts as keepsakes from these historical reflections. First of all, looking at the biblical story, what we need to understand is that there is always a possibility in the world that unless you are fully informed, you might be carried away by false prophets. So let us learn first and foremost our own faith. Whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, or Christians, once you know the depth of your faith, you can appreciate the other. I think no fanaticism can evolve from a truly informed faith. Secondly, from a geographical perspective, it is important to place ourselves in a strategic position. I think in our tradition, attachment places, when given undue importance by emotions, can result in unhealthy bindings. We are tied up from growth. So we need to realize that we are just pilgrims on the face of the earth. We can't even take a piece of soil with us when we die. So be smart to place yourself in a strategic position. Third, from a historical perspective, we need to realize that we always need to appreciate the past to appreciate fully the present. When you know what has gone into making of a story of a person or a place, our respect and appreciation grows. So take some time and effort to learn the history of any place you are planning to visit in the near future. That can be a habit. At last, I want to stress the role of women. The role of women in transforming society is huge. As Catholics, we find refuge in a mother. So too, every motherly figure should be able to create a symbol of strong refuge for society. That is the true growth and fulfillment of humanity. For that, you as girls studying in a higher education institution should be able to evolve in yourself a strong sense of fairness and justice along with kindness and care. They are two sides of the coin. So you can always extend a helping hand to others. So I wish once again a happy feast to the principal, staff, and students of Mercy College. God bless.